Hello and welcome to the GameGrin Weekly News Roundup, the regular service that pumps hot globs of gaming goodness right down your internet pipes and into your fun gland. I am your host, Dominoid, and let's check out some of GameGrin's favourite news stories of the last week. First up then, and everyone's favourite Purple Dragon is returning, and not in another bloody Skylanders game, but in a remastered version of 3 of the original Spyro the Dragon games. After the success of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, clearly Activision have realised that there is money in nostalgia, and those games will be re-released with a swanky new coat of paint. The trilogy compilation will be available for PS4 and Xbox One on the 21st of September, with rumours of a Switch version currently unconfirmed. And speaking of trilogies, there was a triplet of stories from Blizzard this week, with 3 of their biggest franchises getting some love. First up, Diablo legend Deckard Cain is coming to Heroes of the Storm. Now, he is a support character with slowing, rooting and healing abilities, and he's set to arrive in the MOBA soon. Also coming soon is new PvE content, which will be coming to Overwatch, with a Retribution event available between the 10th and the 20th of April. Now, this new mission is a 4-player event, similar to the previous Uprising content, and it features over 60 brand new in-game items to be obtained. Lastly from Blizzard, the hotly anticipated World of Warcraft expansion Battle for Azeroth has had a release date, with the game set to get people addicted all over again on the 14th of August this year. The new expansion sees players going back to the core issue of the fight between Horde and Alliance. So with old enemies once again fighting for control, which side will you be picking in the conflict? Let us know down below in the comments. Now, whilst the land troops fight it out in World of Warcraft, we turn our attention to naval combat now and Sea of Thieves, which is getting a new content patch aiming to fix the spawn location issue, which has been causing players all kinds of headaches since launch. More exciting, though, was the announcement this week of the content update roadmap, confirming that yes, the game will indeed be receiving content at some point in the future. Also getting more content is Final Fantasy XV, with Square revealing 4 new DLC episodes across 2018 and 2019. The 4 different episodes will each focus on a different character, with Lunafreya, Noctis, Aiden and Aranea each getting their own episode. The multiplayer Comrades mode is also being spun off into a game in its own right, with the standalone mode being supplemented alongside new bosses and raids this summer. And there are also a few updates coming the way of Windows players, including a level editor and official mod tools later this year. Also coming later this year, if you hadn't already heard, legendarily awful game shaq-fu is getting a sequel. Now, this game, which sees Shaquille O'Neal turned into a master of his own brand of martial arts, was universally panned back in the 90s when it was released on the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo. That, however, did not stop 1,339 backers all funding the new version of the game on Kickstarter last year. Well, that title has now been given a release date, and it is set to arrive on the PS4, PC and Xbox One on the 5th of June this year. Moving from an unpopular game to an altogether more acclaimed one now, and we were treated this week to the first trailer for Call of Duty World War II's latest DLC, titled The War Machine. This new pack brings with it a selection of additions, including 3 new multiplayer maps, an additional mission called Operation Husky, and a brand new Nazi Zombies map. And finally, quicker than Sonic in a blender, here's 3 last stories to finish us off. Story-driven sci-fi adventure Aleja has been announced, with a trailer for the game released this week ahead of its arrival on Steam Early Access on the 24th of April. The release date for the new Spider-Man game came with a new trailer and announcement of some eye-wateringly expensive special editions. If you want the most extravagant version of the title when it arrives on the 7th of September, then be prepared to fork out $150 or your local equivalent. And successful early access game The Forest is getting a full release soon, with the 30th of April being the big day when the survival game hits the big 1.0. So that is all that we have time for this week. Thank you very much for being here, and as always, we appreciate any likes, subscriptions, follows and comments that you might want to bestow on us depending on what your platform and preference is. If you're on YouTube, remember to ring that bell to select how often you want to receive notifications from the channel, and you can be first to know when we have new content. I have been your host, Dominoid, and this has been a pleasure as always. Next week, we'll be hearing news from the Ginger Wizard himself, GameGrin's third best bearded correspondent, TGK. As always, we'll be streaming on Twitch most nights at 8 PM, and I will be back with more news in 2 weeks' time. Until next time, though, game on!